Well, what do you know? It's the new year. It's finally 2017. I know it's a little bit late for this video. I've been kind of sick since the beginning of 2017. It's gonna be a good year. I can feel it in my chest every time I cough. So the new year arrived in style. In other words, spending billions of dollars worldwide on fireworks. It's always nice to take time away from spending money on wars, missiles, and bombs, and just spend it on fireworks for a change.
It's nice to take a break from terrorizing humans and instead terrorizing birds for a change. Suckers.
So let's take a look back at the year that was. Let's take a look at the good, the bad, and the weird. And let's find out why this year was labeled by internet users as the worst year ever. First up, the bad news. Number 1. The Zika virus. The only cure recommended by doctors was do not visit Africa, do not visit South America, do not visit Asia, and do not have kids. Number 2. Brexit, where Britain said, "See you later, EU, we are tired of immigrants and paying the bill." Number 3. It was a good year for terrorism, and pretty bad for the rest of us. ISIS is still trying to add you on Facebook. The request is still pending. Do not accept. White nationalist groups are growing much faster than ISIS on social media. So expect a friend request anytime soon. Except if you're not white, then just don't answer the door. The war in Syria is getting worse, with every superpower country joining in on the fun and dropping bombs on civilians in hopes of killing any member of the opposition. The massacre of Rohingya Muslims is still happening in Myanmar by extremist Buddhists. Countries in the Middle East from Libya to Egypt to Yemen are in chaos. Terrorist attacks took place in major European countries in 2016. Other terrorist attacks occurred in places like Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Lebanon, and other countries that are not in Europe, so they don't really matter. Number 4. Trump became president of the United States.
That was interesting. It's gonna be a very fun 4 years for any survivors.
Number 5. Global temperatures are still rising and global warming is still going strong. Number 6. The worst part of 2016 was not the wars and terrorist attacks and all that nonsense. It was the death of a celebrity. Well, quite a few, actually. A few people we lost include Frank Sinatra Jr., Prince, Kimbo Slice, Muhammad Ali, Carrie Fisher, Alan Thicke. We had some high-profile breakups, and last but not least, the worst of all, Harambe. And that's it for the bad news. Now it's time for the good news. Number 1. A peace deal in Colombia occurred which potentially put an end to half a century of war and violence. Number 2. Gene editing is now made possible by Tunisian professor Dr. Kamoun. This allows us to edit genes and prevent diseases in plants, which can in return prevent spoilage and therefore help feed hundreds of millions of people. And depending on the results of this procedure, as we all know, gene editing is not easy and has unintended consequences, and therefore this could be added to 2017's bad news segment.
So stay tuned.
Number 3. Sri Lanka is now malaria-free due to the determination of the government and doctors to end malaria in the country. In other news, North, South, and Central America are potentially measles-free as well.
The good guys win again. Take that, ISIS. Wait, that doesn't make any sense.
Number 4. London elected a Muslim mayor.
Take that, Brexit.
Number 5. A plane operating on solar energy was created by this guy, Bertrand Piccard. Or Pickard, or I'm not sure how to pronounce that.
Take that, global warming.
Number 6. Tiger populations are rising, and a large marine reserve is currently being constructed in Antarctica.
Faith in humanity restored.
Number 7. The Dakota Access Pipeline protest was mainly a success. Number 8. 50 million trees were planted in India. Wow, that's a record. And number 9. Apparently, Einstein was right about gravitational waves, which means something to someone somewhere who's smart, who understands numbers and stuff. Not me. And that's it for the good news. Now it's time for the weird news. Number 1. Popular internet challenges included water bottle flipping, the condom challenge, and last but not least, the mannequin challenge. Number 2. NASA issued a space poop challenge.
Stay with me on this. It's smarter than it sounds.
Look it up. You could win 30 grand because of it.
You're welcome.
And last but not least, number 3. 2016 brought many things, but the one thing you're forgetting is that 2016 also brought me. I started making these videos in 2016, and my videos aren't good or bad. They're just weird.
Hey, I accept it.
And that's it. That's my summary of the year that was. So 2016 was pretty decent. It's really all a matter of perspective. And no, it wasn't the worst year ever. It wasn't. I'm pretty sure the years we had World War I, World War II, the Cold War, the plague, and other medieval diseases that almost wiped out half of humanity, slavery, and massacres and genocides of indigenous people were also probably worse years than 2016. Although they didn't have internet back then, so maybe that's why they don't count. Just my opinion. In conclusion, it's a new year, but nothing has really changed. The difference between 2016 and 2017 is just the date on the calendar. 2017 simply inherited all of 2016's problems, and none of the world issues will change until we change ourselves. Until we decide to stop labeling each other and dividing each other as us versus them. Until we decide to coexist, none of the world's troubles are going away. That's my advice to everybody, because I'm Mr. Know-It-All, and because of my vast experience with world issues and my countless Nobel Peace Prizes. And I'm also on the internet, so you know this must be true. Anyways, I'll see you New Year's resolutioners at the gym tomorrow, because that's what happens every year. People wait a full year to go to the gym, and then they last a month, and then they leave. I hope you don't, though. I want you guys to continue going to the gym, and hopefully this turns into a lifestyle, not just a resolution that lasts a couple of days. I could use the company at the gym. I could use some extra spotters. And until then, assalamu alaikum, and peace be with you.
If this video gives you a stroke, diarrhea, constipation, internal bleeding, or any abdominal discomfort, ask your doctor if racism is right for you. Ignorance sold separately, logic not included.
To bomb the skies and terrorize some birds.
You are a Muslim. You should not say terrorize or bombing, bro. FBI is listening.
CSIS is listening, FBI is listening, CIA is listening. I hope they like, share, and subscribe. This allows us to edit genes, and prevent diseases. Why am I showing you what numbers I'm on? It's like, you guys can count.
Right?
Give a brother a break, man.
Stay still for 10 seconds. 10 seconds, stay still. I'm going to say something real quick.
It's always nice to take a break from terrorizing humans and instead terrorizing birds for a change.
Go.
Tripping.
Hey man, just trying to, make a living here. Well, I do this for free actually, so it's not really a living. What? Oh, to cover the whole thing?
It's not the whole thing.
Well, you just came back from the gym and now you want to show off your muscles? I see you're here to fix my set. Okay, thank you very much. You want to say hi to the camera?
Look at that. That's not what I meant.
Yeah, you sat on my glasses. You sat on my glasses.
Tripping.
Hey man, just trying to, make a living here. What's going on?
Can I move it?
Please don't. Took a while to get this perfect. Alright, that's it. That's a wrap. Peace out, people.